Here we go. Yeah, my friends. Hello, my dear friends. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining this live stream today. Guys, it's been a while since we caught up and I've missed you all. I hope you are all doing very well. Guys, if my sound isn't the best, please give me a nudge so I know that I've got to do something with it. Otherwise, if it is good, then we are all set to go. I appreciate all of you joining this live stream so we can catch up with what has been going on in the world of our British royals. I hope all of you are having such a wonderful time. How are you guys coping with the loss of Queen Elizabeth? I thought I start by asking you that question because everybody is struggling. The whole world is struggling, and certainly here in the United Kingdom, the death of Queen Elizabeth has left a massive gap in everybody's heart. So let's pray. Let us stay together as we go through these very, very challenging times. So, welcome aboard Francis Page Media. Here we talk about what is always going on in the world of our British royals. As you have all been following up on the stories regarding the death of Queen Elizabeth, you will know that today Queen Elizabeth is lying in state at Westminster Hall for 4 days, where members of the public across the world are filing past or walking past her coffin to pay those last respects to the woman that everybody loved so much. I don't know about you guys, but looking at these processions since the death of Queen Elizabeth is very emotional because can you imagine 4 days ago, 5 days ago, we had Queen Elizabeth here with us alive, and today we are looking at her coffin being moved right, east, west, center. You know, her body lying in there very lifeless. Yet we are used to see our queen full of life, very jolly, laughing, cracking those jokes. That is what we are all missing. But hey ho, she was 96 years of age. So, yes, she was old. And those are the things we hold on to say, right, okay, she has lived her life. She has done everything that she had to do, of course. And yes, maybe it's time for her to rest. Okay, so but we would still have loved to see Queen Elizabeth go on and live, if possible, forever. But anyway, guys, how are you? Let me check in with you first. How are you all coping? Where are you watching this live from? Are you in UK? Are you in United States? Are you in Canada? Are you somewhere in Africa? Wherever you are, I'm sending you my greetings, and of course, I thank you all for the incredible support you show to this channel and to my messages recently that have reached so many people in all corners of the world. This support and overwhelming encouragement you show to me on this channel is highly appreciated. So, today Queen Elizabeth, of course, has traveled, her body or her coffin has traveled from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall, which is around 7-8 miles away from Buckingham Palace, somewhere near the Houses of Parliament. So, the Westminster Hall, of course, is famously known for being that that government building where all heads of state lie when they pass. That's where they lie in state for the public to come and walk and walk past to see the coffin before the heads of states are taken for. Prime Minister, I think, to lie in state was, is it Winston Churchill was there, and we also know that the Queen Mother was also there in 2002, and so many people, of course, from all over the world walked past her coffin to have their to pay their last respect to the Queen Mother back in 2002. So Queen Elizabeth now again becomes the most recent member of the royal family or monarch to lie in to lie in Westminster Hall for people to come and pay their respect. So very very sad moments we are all facing, but we are very strong, and the whole royal family is actually very strong, standing together to sweep through these very very challenging times. So wherever you are, guys, I'm sending you my regards. Please let us know in the comment section where you're watching this live from, and let us share some thoughts on our lovely Queen Elizabeth, who has been with us for 96 years. Now, a little bit of an insight into Queen Elizabeth and the life that she has lived. But before I go forward, I would like to make this declaration that whatever views we share here are my own views. I always encourage you, my dear friends, to do your own research so that you are at the same kind of level of understanding when it comes to sharing these messages. Kindness is very key, and especially in this period of time we are living, kindness is what is going to see us through these challenging times we are facing of losing our beloved Queen Elizabeth. So, the life of Queen Elizabeth. She has lived her life to the fullest, if I must say. She is one leader who hasn't put as a foot wrong. Okay, she has served her country with dedication, with love, from start to finish, without letting slip any standards. I mean, every day leaders let loose. Okay, there are times that our standards fall, or our standards go down a little bit, or we are caught off guard, or we end up doing something that we regret, or in our lifetime. But looking back at Queen Elizabeth's life, you actually see that she has been very alert most of the time in terms of her service, her dedication, her compassion for work, and her sense of humor. Very very well respected she has been by not just the young but the old, all world leaders. The older she got, the wiser she became, and never at any one point was she caught off guard. Okay, so it is indeed very sad to see that she has left us, but at 96 years of age. Again, we are very grateful that we have had her for such a long time, because Queen Elizabeth's father, of course, died at the age of, was it 52? He was very young when he died, and it was an abrupt death. So we could say that Queen Elizabeth has actually lived longer than her dad. And we know that right at the start, Queen Elizabeth was not meant to be a queen. We all know very much that Queen Elizabeth's father wasn't meant to be the king, but his brother, King Albert, who was supposed to be the king, abdicated the throne, and then that again the throne fell automatically into Queen Elizabeth's dad, okay, who was King George VI. And so obviously Queen Elizabeth, being the elder daughter of of her dad. She again was seen as the future queen. Okay. Uh, Hi, Deborah. Sorry, you can't hear me? 1 minute. Is that okay? Debbie, is that fine? Guys, let me know if my sound is good. I've been having issues with sound today. Can you hear me now, Deb? Please, guys, tell me. Hi, Ashan. Can you hear me now? Is my sound good? I've been told my sound isn't up to scratch. Is the sound okay? Please give me a note if my sound is okay, so I can twitch it round. Yeah, I presume it's good now, guys. If okay, right. Hi, Cindy. Great to see you guys. Thank you guys for joining us today. We are looking at Queen Elizabeth's life. And of course, tonight she is lying in state at Westminster Hall, where she's going to be staying there for 4 days until Monday the 19th, when she will be buried at Windsor Castle, where her father, her Queen Mother, her mother, and her sister are all buried. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Ashan. Ashan, give me a thumbs up if my sound is okay. I think I might need to tweak it round. Is it okay now? Ashan, give me a thumbs up if my sound is good. I've been told it's not good. Okay, yes, so we are looking at the life of Queen Elizabeth today. As I've said, she is lying in state at Westminster Hall, where she's going to be staying for 4 days until Monday the 19th, when her funeral will take place at Windsor. So many people have been wondering what lying in state means. Lying in state, of course, is too low. Okay, right. 1 minute, guys. My sound is too low. Right. Right. Is that good now? Oh, yes. So, is that good, guys? Is my sound okay? I think I had issues with these headphones. Please give me a thumbs up if the sound is better, and then I'll see what to do with it. Again, really sorry with this. I don't know what's going on. But yes, so we are looking at the life of Queen Elizabeth, guys. We lost her and now 6 days ago. Is it 6 days ago? On the 8th? And so she is now, as we speak, lying in state at Westminster Hall. Westminster Hall is the public hall where all heads of state will lie in state for when they pass, for the members of the royal family to come and pay their last respect. So yeah, though too low. Right. What should I do with this sound? Right. 1 minute, guys. I'll have to tweak this round again. So is that fine, guys? Is that sound okay? Let me see. Is that sound okay, guys? Please give me a thumbs up again. I've just tried to tweak it round. Is that fine now? Right, yes, so we are looking at the life of Queen Elizabeth, who is lying in state as we speak now in Westminster Hall, where she's going to stay for 4 days from today until Monday the 19th, and she will then be taken to Windsor Castle, where she will be buried alongside her late dad, her mother, who was called Queen Mother, her sister, and of course her late husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, the late Prince Philip. So, as we, according to certain sources, we hear that the late Duke of Edinburgh, that was the Queen's husband, the late Prince Philip, of course, who died last year, was buried in the royal vault. So the royal vault is a separate entity where they bury royals temporarily, and then they are always moved into the main burial area. So the queen's husband is still buried temporarily in the royal vault, where he is again going to be brought out and buried together with Queen Elizabeth on Monday, the 19th of September. So that is what we know for now, that the burial will be Monday. Yeah, thank you, Ashan. Burial will be Monday, the 19th of September. Of course, emotional, very, very emotional day it is going to be. Because now Queen Elizabeth, of course, is lying in state. People are walking past to see her coffin, and they're going to be doing this for the next 4 days. So there is much hope. They are still having those eyes on. But when the queen is laid to rest, and that is even where people's emotions are going to be evoked more and more. We are having people coming from all around the world in hundreds of thousands. People are lining up for for about 6 hours waiting time to actually go and see the queen lie in state. So lying in state is of course the queen's coffin being placed on a raised platform in this massive hall, and people are literally filing past or walking past just to have a good look in, just to see, right, that is her coffin. That is enough for people. And don't forget, some of these people have not seen the queen alive. I mean, they have been seeing the queen on TV, but they have never seen the queen live. So this would be the very first time, and how sad it is for somebody to see the queen for the first time, but in the coffin. So that is where people's emotions are being evoked. Lots of tears in London. It's very, very packed, the city, as we speak right now. I was meant to go there today, but because of how busy it is, I'm waiting for things to calm down a little bit. So I will be making my way down there on Saturday, presuming the crowds would have settled down a little bit. But we have people who arrived there for the last 2 days, and they have been waiting. People are having their tents. They are setting up temporary beds along the streets in London so that they can make their way to Westminster Hall. So you can imagine people traveling with children, with youngsters are much in trouble, because it is very cold in the night, and it's been raining some days, but people are prepared to stay whatever the weather conditions are to be able to see the late Queen Elizabeth. That's how much they really, really loved this beautiful late queen. So yes, London is busy, but let us take a brief look back at who Queen Elizabeth has been, because a lot of us have seen her. We've known no other queen other than Queen Elizabeth, and her reign, of course, 70 years on the throne, would have arrived when most of us were not born yet. And then we grew up and got to how old we are now, still seeing, still knowing no any other queen or king apart from Queen Elizabeth. So we are now living at a point where we have been in the old era, and we have been lucky enough to see the new era come in. And the new era here, I'm talking about King Charles, who has now taken over from Queen Elizabeth as the next in line to the throne. And he comes in, of course, at such a challenging time, and we shall talk about that as well. But for now, let us focus on the life of Queen Elizabeth. And So she's been in for 70 years. She has never put a foot wrong. She has always been right. Her decision, her sense of judgment, the respect, of course, she has from world leaders, the respect she has from world leaders is incredible. And she has, of course, seen hundreds and hundreds of world leaders. She has seen 16 British prime ministers, one after the other, with the latest one to be very lucky to see her as Liz, exactly the same name as Queen Elizabeth. So, what a coincidence. But yes, so the Queen died shortly after meeting her 16th Prime Minister. She has met 15 out of the 16 American presidents, and she has made countless world leaders because she has traveled nearly 150 countries around the world. So as we speak now, Queen Elizabeth has been the most well-traveled world leader in the world. There is no country that this woman hadn't gone to. Okay, so should we talk about which country would you least expect the Queen probably to go? Maybe what country? Could we go maybe in Africa? Could we talk about countries in East Africa? She's been to all of those ones. Okay, so she's been to the Caribbean islands. She's been to West Africa. She's been to United States. She's been everywhere. And so that really explains what a great leader she was. And of course, she has been very respected. Now, here in United Kingdom, of course, all of you who have been following up on these stories will hear that there have been uprisings in certain areas of the country with people suggesting an end to the monarchy and saying, no, let's have a change of things. Let us see a president come in. But people are still saying, no, we really love our queen and we want our monarchy to go forward because they know the monarchy offers something different from what politics offers. We know how politicians are liars. We know how they never stick to whatever they say. Yet, kings, or say queen, the queen was very transparent. She was very she wasn't corrupt. She had that love for people, genuine sense of love for people, something which politicians don't have. And of course, we know how politicians come and go. We have them today, next day they are voted out, so that sort of change of power every often leads to a lot of wastage of resources. It leads to a lot to loss of continuity and all and everything that comes with it. But the monarchy or the queen offers that longevity or that consistency where the king or queen will stay until she dies and then somebody else comes in. Okay, so there isn't changing power every often, which we know that changing power very often comes with all those disadvantages that I've talked about. But also let us talk about the money that comes in terms of tourists who come to visit these castles or the queen's palaces, the souvenirs that are sold to tourists that bring in immense sums of money. Those things, when you look at them, are the reason why people still love the monarchy to be in place. So there were those uprisings that were taking place in London recently, but of course we know that nobody is going to love something. So you will always have sections of people who will not agree with certain things, and that is totally fine. Okay. But anyway, back to Queen Elizabeth's life. So Queen Elizabeth, 70 years on the throne. We haven't seen any other king for 70 years, which is a record in itself, because I don't know whether we are going to see another king or queen stay that longer. as a monarch. So Queen Elizabeth took over from her dad, who died at the age of 72. So her dad, King George VI, had an attack and died very abruptly. But also before Queen Elizabeth's dad, of course, there was Albert, who was Queen Elizabeth's brother, who was meant to be king, but he abdicated or left the throne to go and marry someone in United States. And by law, if you leave the throne to go and marry someone outside of the country, then you sort of abdicate. They call it abdicate. So you can no longer become a king or queen. So the queen's brother, who was the second brother to Albert, inherited the crown. And of course, Queen Elizabeth, being the elder daughter, became the heir to the throne. So when Elizabeth's dad died from a heart attack, Queen Elizabeth, who was on holiday in Africa, was crowned the queen. And that was 1956, I think. And since then, Queen Elizabeth, we don't know anybody else. Now, Queen Elizabeth had her sister Margaret, very, very jolly sister. These two loved each other so much. And so Princess Margaret actually died as well at the age of 71. And so actually, Queen Elizabeth's mother, who was the Queen Mother, died. And then so there was a period of 3 weeks between Queen Elizabeth's mother dying and Queen Elizabeth's young sister dying. So it was quite a challenging season for the royal family during then. Queen Mother dying, her daughter, youngest daughter dying, then leaving Queen Elizabeth on her own. And now we have seen Queen Elizabeth live on until today. But it has been very, very emotional, looking at the procession with all the royal family members coming and, of course, taking part in that emotional event of Queen Elizabeth's body leaving Buckingham Palace to go to Westminster Hall to lie in state, seeing the Queen's children marching behind their mom's coffin, the same way they did behind their father's coffin back in 2021. The late Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, has been very, very emotional. Princess Anne, of course, we know as the only daughter of the Queen, has been marching behind the mother's coffin. And today, of course, while in Westminster Hall, she also stood guard around the mother's coffin, making her the first royal female to stand guard at the mother's coffin. So the Queen's death has led to a lot of things coming up in this short amount of space. King Charles has been now proclaimed as the new king. You saw those events recently, and what a lovely tribute Prince Charles gave in memory of his mother. We know that Prince Charles has been waiting for 72 years as a heir to the throne. So he finally takes over his mother's monarchy, but in such an emotional sort of way. And he has been trained, so we are very certain that the monarchy is in safe hands because Prince Charles knows what he is doing. He's been observing his mother firsthand, doing all this royal work. And of course, Prince Charles has got his own son, Prince William, who is quite switched on and also very loved by the public. And Prince William also has a wife, Catherine, who is a darling to so many royalists. And so these are seen as the future of the monarchy. So before Queen Elizabeth died, she made so many things clear. And among these things, she said that she wanted of course, King Charles to be her successor, and then she also touched on the fact that she wanted Camilla to be the queen consort, and then she would have obviously designed all these other arrangements that saw Prince William become the Prince of Wales, Catherine the Princess of Wales, all those royal titles that are preparing William to become the next king after Charles dies. Now, there have been calls for Charles again to pass over the throne to his son, Prince William. But I think the Queen wanted Prince William to first raise his family because a few years back the Queen delivered us a speech, and he very much said that the job is very challenging. Being a monarch, being a king, queen, is the most challenging job in the whole world. It comes with a lot of responsibilities. Responsibilities that a young man who is a father, mother can probably struggle to cope with. So, with Prince William having young children together with Catherine that they are still raising, it is only ethical that he takes time out to raise his family. And so Prince Charles then here becomes the transitional king to help watch that space before William comes in, before William's parental roles get to a point where he will now be able to dedicate most of his time into serving his country. But I think for now it is only right that Prince Charles carries on with the work until William, Catherine get ready in the next coming, 10 years to come. But what do you guys think again? How have you found this season so far? Are you following up on the death of Queen Elizabeth? Have you found something interesting throughout these processions that we have seen? Why don't you share with us in the comments section below, guys? Let's have a normal conversation. I miss hearing from you all. Okay. Yes. So today you will realize that as members of the royal family were marching, were carrying out that procession, marching from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall. Some of them were not wearing their military uniform because usually when they are taking part in these royal ceremonies, all members of the armed forces, especially those who served in the military in any capacity, wear their uniforms, they have their medals on, so it's chance for them to showcase what they have achieved for the royal family, queen and country. So today, as members of the royal family were marching down the mall, of course, many people were quick to point out Prince Andrew and Prince Harry, who were not wearing their military uniforms, and were asking themselves why. Well, ask no more, because Prince Andrew was stripped of his military titles back in was it 2021 last year? No, earlier this year. So he was stripped of his military titles. Then that stops him from wearing his military uniforms on occasions like this, because he is not a working royal, and he is not allowed to wear those uniforms anymore until such a time when his ban is lifted. Prince Harry wasn't wearing his. Of course, many would wonder why. He served in Afghanistan. He's got medals and etc. But remember, Prince Harry walked away from the life of a serving royal, so he put his tools down and walked away with his wife to Meghan to go to United States. Therefore, he is also not allowed to wear military uniforms during processions like the one we just saw earlier on. Okay, so I think this sort of puts all those questions to bed. Why did Harry not wear his uniform? Why was Prince Andrew not wearing his? Well, it is because they are no longer serving members of the royal family. But it was great to see these royals come together. We know that the family has been broken somehow. Harry hasn't been on talking terms with most of his family members, with his dad. You know what happened when they went away? The Oprah Winfrey interviews that, of course, led to a lot of controversies. You know, Prince William again, and distancing himself from the allegations, of course, they made against him and his father, Prince Charles. So the royal family wasn't on talking terms with Meghan and Harry. And the death of Queen Elizabeth again has united the family together, because for today, what we have seen was a family that came together to go through these challenging times. We know that Meghan and Harry hadn't been here for the last 2.5 years, but they came down to celebrate, well, to be with the rest of the royals through the trying moments. And some royalists, of course, have been criticizing Meghan and Harry, saying, right, you did not show up when Queen Elizabeth was alive. You didn't do anything to save Queen Elizabeth from the heartache of losing her husband. But then instead you went and did these Oprah Winfrey interviews that caused more heartache to Queen Elizabeth. You talked all this and that about her monarchy. The next in line, King Charles, was also featured in their Oprah Winfrey interviews, where they said that he doesn't look like he's going to be a good king. So all of which must have caused a lot of pain and heartache to Queen Elizabeth, of course, who was very old, who was already suffering from the loss of her husband, the late Prince Philip, and also to add on to that was the pandemic, COVID pandemic, which separated so many people from their loved ones. Hi, Patricia. Good to see you. Thank you so much. My volume again. Ooh. Right, Patricia, how is that? Is that better? Right, guys, let me see what's going on. Let me try this and see if it will work this time around. Okay. Okay, let's see if this will work. So is that better, guys? Is that better? Because I had issues with these headphones earlier on. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if this is better. I've been struggling. Yes. I don't know what's wrong with this phone today, but sound has really, really been horrible. But excuse me for that. I'll try and sort this out. Yes. So, what was I on? Yes. So I was talking about criticisms that have. Hi, Andre. Thank you. Some things are so hectic. Yes, volume is very low. Right. I'm really, really sorry. I have to do something about this volume here. It has been very, very terrible today. And it's here, it's at its highest here. Right, I'll just try and manage with this for tonight. I'll try and sort this out, guys. I'm really, really sorry. Yeah, so we're talking about the criticisms that we have received today, that the royal family has been receiving this morning from the Hello, Dispatch. Hello, thank you for joining us today. Yes, so many royalists are, of course, criticizing Meghan and Harry for turning up for the Queen's funeral when they did not turn up when the Queen was alive. And because, obviously, of what happened with the Oprah Winfrey interviews that let's see, let me turn the volume down from my side. Yes, so because of what happened with the Oprah Winfrey interviews, guys, do you have Instagram? Yes, I do, but I don't really use it. I'll try and see if I can share it. Yeah. Yes, so many royalists are very, very upset with Meghan and Harry throughout these processions. And for those who were down in London today, you should have heard people shouting in the crowds to Meghan and Harry, asking them what they are doing here when they've inflicted a lot of pain to Queen Elizabeth in terms of those Oprah Winfrey interviews they did, speaking against the monarch, speaking against the next in line, in this case Prince Charles, and also speaking against Prince William, of course, um, sort of criticizing every single senior working royal within the royal family, something that must have angered Queen Elizabeth. And let us not forget that the Queen was going through pain already with with the death of her husband, the late Prince Philip. And to add to that was the pandemic, COVID pandemic, which really, really robbed people of their loved ones. So the Queen was going through hell. And given her age, of course, given her age, many people were very, 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 very disappointed uh, with how somebody can go and speak ill of their grandmother. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, how somebody, right. So it's my battery here, I think. 1 minute, guys. Okay. Yeah. So people were wondering, were just upset with how Meghan and Harry treated the late Queen Elizabeth, and to see them turn up for the funeral service, for the procession here, and when they caused so much pain to Her Majesty the Queen when she was alive, is what has angered very, very many royalists. So as the processions were taking place in London, of course, people were heard voicing their concerns, in the public, and of course, these views must have been heard by Meghan and Harry, who are seriously going to take a moment of reflection, for whatever they did, for whatever they have been doing. Because let's face it, Meghan and Harry have been to Europe so many times. Okay. Hi Sam, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Meghan and Harry have been to Europe so many times. They've been to Netherlands for the Invictus Games. They recently came and went to Germany, knowing that Queen Elizabeth was not in good state, and never did they take that time out to come and spend some time with Queen Elizabeth. We know that these family issues have been there, okay, but that should not have stopped them from coming in to sort of see the Queen while she was still alive. And now they are, of course, coming right now when the Queen is no more, and they are seen marching behind other royals. And many people are wondering, what's the point? Okay, so people are very, very, very right to behave in the way they are doing, because honestly, even if it were you, knowing that your grandmother is 96 years, the last thing they want is stress. But what Meghan and Harry, of course, have been bringing about to this 96-year-old was stress through their actions in the United States, doing things that do not reflect the values of the monarch. And we know how much Queen Elizabeth very much wants every single royal to live by the values. Okay, now she stripped off her son, Prince Andrew, royal titles because of behaving the way he did. That's how Queen Elizabeth was. She was a no-nonsense woman. Okay, and we know that Prince Andrew he was one of Queen Elizabeth's most beloved children, but she stripped him off the royal titles simply because she wasn't going to sit there and because Prince Andrew is her son, then must he do whatever he wanted to do. That wasn't Queen Elizabeth at all. So from that perspective, you see where I'm coming from when I say that whatever Meghan and Harry were doing abroad was bound to cause a lot of heartache to the 96-year-old. And so all of these things should have led to from one event to the other. And of course, that is probably what might have led to the deterioration in health of this 96-year-old, the Queen. But we are very grateful that Prince Charles now comes to take over at a time when everybody else knows where the problem is with Meghan and Harry. Everybody tends to side with the monarchy, with the decisions that they are going to make against Meghan and Harry, because um, and Meghan and Harry didn't do themselves any help, because had they been here way before the Queen had passed on and sorted out their differences, maybe Queen Elizabeth would have turned around and said, okay, right, going forward, maybe this is where my son is going to be, my great grandson is going to be, or this is what's going to happen. But Queen Elizabeth died not a happy woman in terms of where Meghan and Harry sit within the monarchy. And I think this is very much going to be the principle that Prince Charles is going to ride along in his future decisions, especially regarding these two. We already saw how he gave a perfect speech in his address as a king, when he said he's very proud of his son William and his daughter-in-law Catherine, and then he said he wished Meghan and Harry good in United States. So as simple as that sounded, it was so telling of a king who had no plans for these two in his future royal family plans. Okay, because maybe many people expected he would say, right, Meghan and Harry are here, we are all going to move forward as a unit. But he said, I wish them well wherever they go. Hi, Andre. Great to see you guys. Sorry for going on, but I would like to acknowledge all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope all of you guys are doing very well. It is such a difficult season with the death of Queen Elizabeth, who is lying in state today at Westminster Hall. Is any of you guys going to see her body, her coffin? Because I will be going this Saturday, hopefully, when the queues have sort of slowed down a little bit, because it's too much right now. So, but yes, hi, is that my question? Dispatch, whatever. Is that my question? Where are you? Oh, you're asking Andre. Right. I can't, I'm working, but had to be there. Yes, fully. It's gonna be very, very, of course, Saturday I thought would be a bit of a free day for you, Sam, but you'll be working. Oh, such a shame. But it would have been really, really lovely to go and file past and have those last minute eyes on this coffin of this wonderful lady everybody loved. I'm from the United Kingdom. Thank you so much for asking. And where are you from yourself? Are you from Canada? Andre, you're from Canada. Yes. Thank you guys for always checking in. I haven't done a live in a while because a lot, as you see, has been going on. And as well as that, we were all going through shock. This came as a shock to all of us. So it was also allowing ourselves to calm down before we actually get any meaningful views out of ourselves. Janine Brahman, USA, send greetings to everybody in USA, my dear friend Janine. And yes. So Queen Elizabeth is now the last of his father's generation. So of course, her dad died, and then her mother died. No, her sister died. Her mother died. Now it's Queen Elizabeth, and Queen Elizabeth obviously said she wanted to be buried together with mom, dad, and her sister, and Prince Philip, who is her late husband. So her late husband is in the royal vault as we speak, but there are plans to move him from the royal vault to be buried alongside Queen Elizabeth, because that's what she wanted. That's what she said in her will, apparently. So that is going to be made happen at Windsor Castle. So Windsor Castle has got the um, St. George's Chapel, which is a section for a burial section for all the kings and monarchs. So they will all be buried in there. So that's 19th, Monday 19th of September. It is going to be another busy day. It's already busy right now as we speak. There are queues, people lining up as far as Lambeth Bridge. Those of you who know London very well, queues are extending up to Lambeth, Kennington Way, down there. So people are walking like 6-7 miles to get to Westminster Hall. And of course, there are security checks which are slowing queues a little bit, but they are making sure that they are doing things correctly and in the right way. Leslie, I hope you are able to get in sooner than most. I know it would mean hard to you. I send condolences to you, to Your Majesty. Yes, thank you so much, Leslie. It is going to be very sad, but again, we are grateful that we have been able to see um, the Queen for the last 96 years of age she has been. So we have seen this incredible woman on the monarch for 70 years. People have been born, died, and everything, and we have been here to see her. Right, guys, my battery is going any minute, so I would like to finish this live in the next coming few minutes, so I don't end it on a very bad note. It's been great seeing all of you. So I checked in here briefly to see how you're all coping with the death of the most adorable woman on earth. We know that the lying in state is there for 4 days. So from today till Monday, around 6 a.m. in the morning, Monday morning, you will be able to go and file past to see the coffin of Queen Elizabeth. London is very busy. If you intend to travel, apparently most of the lines in London are so overloaded and overcrowded, and there are cancellations and everything. So make sure that you check your journeys before you go, to make sure that you're not going to get stuck somewhere before you get to London, because it's crazy. People are traveling from as far as USA, Canada, whatever, to come here and pay their final respect to Her Majesty the late Queen Elizabeth. So please check your transport system to make sure that you're not going to be stuck somewhere. It's going to be raining at some point during the next coming few days. So again, make sure you have your stuff ready, because I've seen people today struggling in the rain, and others didn't bring chairs and all that stuff. Food, please carry plenty of that. Medication, apparently people are being caught off guard because they thought it's a case of going there 30 minutes and out, and they don't go with their medication. So please make sure you travel with all that. And yes, so Meghan and Harry were meant to be here for, they had come here for their well child and one young world's whatever charities events, and they were caught off guard. The Queen died while they were here. So that sort of cancelled their plans out. But again, many people were saying yes, that is was one way of Queen Elizabeth saying, I won't let you do whatever you have done. I will jeopardize your work because you've also jeopardized mine. So there are lots of theories going round, but what we know is that the royal family is united. Whatever will come up after, of course, these stories will be shared here on social media, including here at Francis' page, because I always aim to bring you stories whenever I get hold of them. But for now, the royal family is united, is a united front to sweep through these challenging days. King Charles III is now traveling to Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, um, as the norm is when the Queen dies. Whenever the monarch or Queen dies, of course, the heir to the throne travels to all parts of the UK as a procession, as a way of introducing himself um, to those areas as the next king, those entities as the next king. So Prince Charles is very busy, of course, as we saw this morning. He was at the procession. Straight from the procession, he flew to Northern Ireland, to all these places. He's already been to Scotland, but it is all part of the arrangements of the next in line to show their faces into these areas, to meet the parliaments of these countries, to introduce and do all those bits and bobs that are seeing him as the next or the next king or the monarch that is taking on from Queen Elizabeth. But Monday, guys, stay tuned for the funeral procession, which will start, I think, somewhere around 9 in the morning. Again, all television and media channels will be broadcasting these processions live. But for now, guys, I will end this live before the battery dies. Wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you lots and lots of greetings. Janine Branham, thank you for joining. I had never seen you before on this live, so it's great to see you. Andre, thank you so much. You're always part of these lives. I really, really appreciate. Uh, you take minutes. I missed that. Take a step. Yeah, thank you so much, Andre. Leslie, lovely to see you on these lives. Sam, wonderful to see you. Thank you so much. Ashan, Stacy, wherever you are, keep safe. I'm so honored to see you come on this live at this particular time of the night. It's coming to 11 o'clock UK time here. So I'm guessing in United States you're 5 hours behind us, but again, this is kind of the rush hour for you guys. So I really, really appreciate every little time spent here. Let us stay very strong. Congratulations to Prince William and Catherine for being the new Prince and Princess of Wales. So, of course, that is a very, very prestigious royal title, and it's usually given to somebody who is going to be the heir to the throne. And of course, Prince Charles was so honored to introduce William and Kate as the next Prince of Wales. That title that Catherine is holding, Princess of Wales, was last held by Princess Diana back in the 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 17 years ago. How long ago is Diana dead now? 25 years ago, God knows, but a long time. Since then, that title had never been given to any other female. So Catherine, the Princess of Wales, becomes the new Princess of Wales. And many people were very excited, including myself, because Catherine has worked so hard. Dedication, love, respect she has for the monarchy. And of course, being a loyal wife to the heir to the throne, Prince William, who is also the Princess of Wales right now, not forgetting the wonderful family she's raising, young children who are also going to be heirs to the throne. Such a massive role she is playing, Catherine. So that was great news for the monarchy, great news for all royalists, and also it has sort of put all these other comparisons to bed between her and Meghan, because many people are saying, "Oh, Meghan, is more of a princess of Wales than Catherine is." But awarding Catherine that royal title meant a lot, and I mean a lot, to royalists around the world. So I'm going to end with that, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to catch up with you again very, very soon in the next coming few days. I will try and sort of squeeze in a live when I'm in London, if chance allows and if security allows, because London is going to be packed. So I don't know if signal will be great, because obviously all those areas around Whitehall, around Westminster, Buckingham Palace tend to be switched off with the internet to avoid people screening or live streaming some very, very sensitive stuff around those areas. And also because we have so many heads of states around from different countries who have been invited to take part in the in the funeral processions. It is highly likely that security might bar us from or stop us from live streaming in those key areas. But I will try my best to see that I show you at least a little bit of those areas, the flowers and tributes left behind by people coming from all areas of the world. But for now, guys, really appreciate your time. I'm going to sign off before this phone dies. Good night, and please, please stay safe. Let us catch up soon. Bye bye, my dear friends.